YouTube, it's your boy Young Sketchy Flex, and today I'm actually going to bring you a team builder for the team. I'm going to actually, one of 3 teams I'm going to be using this week. And I think for the first time, and I think from months, I actually sat down and actually built a team that I actually like, that I'm actually comfortable with. But I got back to the whole joy of actually just team building. And, so today, I guess I'm bringing you this little Diggersby Tailwind kind of team. Diggersby with Ironhead, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Quick Attack, Huge Power. I opted for Rock Slide, but I kind of, it was so situational. I could have had, Knockoff for this slide. I could have had, oh my god, what else? Wild Charge for things like Slowbro, Keldeo. But I chose Rock Slide versus things like Entei and Talonflame, just simply because Talonflame kind of does break through my team because of not just Gilman's, but it can be banded, and I guess this thing kind of just counteracts it. But full investment in attack and speed. I actually put the rest in special defense. Just if I can survive a squall in a row, it was something like that. I don't know. It's simple. It's simple. It gets straight to the point, and it's just there. Next we're going with lead guard, physically defensive tank chomp here. Stealth Rocks, Fire Blast, Roar over Detail, and Earthquake. I chose Roar over Detail. Granted, it still doesn't do any actual damage, but I want to hit inbound fairy types. Earthquake versus Tran, Fire Blast for things like other Scizors, Megazone, Skarmory. And Stealth Rocks is kind of important to what this team does. It's standard tank chomp, 248 HP, 252 in defense, and the rest is special defense. I feel like this team is kind of special defensive weak, but I'm depending on roles and whatnot. But I think with the team synergy that this Garchomp has actually with this team, it actually puts in a lot of work. Tran cannot switch in on it, or cannot stay in on it. And I can protect my rocks whenever. So that's my take on this. Next, I got Scizor, which is actually going to be a unique set. It's physically defensive with default U-turn, bullet punch and bruise, full investment, and HP and defense. I chose this set because it's not standard. You will see this team, it's it's standard Scizor, Life Orb. But no, this actually walls a lot of mons. It checks Weavile, which is a big threat to this team. Bullet Punch for other ground types, other Diggersbees and Hippowdon and stuff like that. Bruce, because I wanted reliable recovery, plus leftovers, I'm recovering 58% every time. And Defog, simply because I didn't have no way of hazard control. If I can, take out a spinner or a defogger, and it looks like it's the last one on the team, I can go ahead and defog, hazards on my side of the field, go in the Garchomp, set up hazards, and be good for the rest of the game. Plus, this thing actually baits in things like, Talonflame versus Diggersby, which I could go at Rock Slide. I'd probably get an Oko out of it, or Will-O-Wisp versions, and defensive Talonflames and yeah. Defog, as I said, just has a control. U-turn for switch initiative. I have my my Volt Turn Core with my Raikou here, which actually puts in a lot of work. Versus Weavile, I put in a lot of work. And it doesn't suffer from low kick and things. Plus it's stab along with bullet punch. Next is Raikou, which is going to be Specs Raikou with Volt Switch, Hit Power Ice for Dragon types and Ground types. Oyster is for Dark types as well. as well as ground types and ice types, and Shadow Ball just for things like Gengar, which I do believe is in the same speed tier. I chose Specs simply because it's supposed to break down special defensive walls. And then I think after that, Clefable actually Clefable, things like Clefable and Latias actually have a field day versus the majority of teams. Next is Clefable, Aromatherapy, Flamethrower, Moonlight, Moonblast. I chose this set for the simple fact that I kind of, if I don't want, to deal with hazards, well, not hazards, status control, like Toxic Guard Chomp, like Lead Toxic Guard Chomps and Flamethrower, like things like that. Flamethrower, because Clefable does bait in things like Drill and Pharaoh's Heat and other Scizors, this allows it to hit it back with super effective damage. Moonlight over, I believe, Softball, because this set particularly cannot run Softball. I don't understand why, but it's whatever. And then Moonblast as, a dragon counter. As a dragon, super effective move, whatever. I don't know. And then Latias, which is interesting because this thing actually supports Diggersby in a sweepish way with Healing Wish, Side Shock, Tailwind, Ice Beam. Ice Beam hit other dragon types as well as grass types that Diggersby does have an issue with, like Shaman and Venusaur, bar Mega Venusaur. Side Shot to deal with things like Venusaur and Conch Elder and Breloom. Healing Wish because I can Healing Wish up any Mon, and more than likely I'll be going into Diggersby. I actually chose a Relaxed Nature, 252 in HP, 204 in defense just to deal with like things like Weavile and Bisharp, and the other 52 in special defense to deal with things like other Latias and Latioses, like Scarf Hydreigon and things like that, or Raikous as well. I do feel like this team is actually balanced. I can, if I can't get the sweep with Diggersby, I can always get one Raikou and Scizor, just because they're bulky. Well, Scizor because it's bulky enough to, deal with things early. Like, I know this team has a particular issue with Magnezone because it can hit Diggersby with super effective Flash Cannon, and Scizor, it can trap Scizor in with Magnet Pull and just fire off each hit power fires. Other than that, I think the two main mons that deal with this team correctly is probably Weavile, because it does hit 1, 2, 3, 4 mons on my team for super effective damage, and it can pretty much run shop over this team. Magnezone, obviously, because Diggersby is a thing, traps in the Scizor, deals with Clefable, checks Clefable. I don't know how it handles Latias, but I think I kind of do win that matchup. Honestly, my whole goal, I think, with this team is to set up a Tailwind and to get Diggersby in on a switch. If I can go Tailwind and then Healer Wish into Diggersby late game, I do win, because more than likely they're not going to have anything forward play Diggersby in this game, bar Scarf. But I think I can figure out who's Scarf and who's not. These battles will actually be Wi-Fi. I actually had a lot of fun building this team for once. This is interesting because now, like, this does puts in so much work just defensively versus things like oh my god, things like any physical, like Conch Elder. It deals with Conch Elder and is just able to phase in Pokemon. Clefable is just a massive wall here. And Raikou actually just breaks down a lot of different walls. As I said, guys, this will actually be Wi-Fi. I'm gonna have like another team later up this week, and I'll actually wait till later this week to have that. So, deuce.